Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News 10 at 10, where we give you more news in less time. Let's get started. A developing story in downtown Spokane right now. City code enforcement is telling a homeless shelter they have to shut down because they failed to correct multiple safety violations. KREM 2's Kyle Simchuk spoke to the pastor running the shelter. And Kyle, what do you have to say?
Well, Pastor Ronald Nelson says he's been overwhelmed trying to understand and comply with some of these orders. He's also running out of money to bring the building up to code. He's taken in around 70 people, including several families with young children. Tomorrow, they'll have to find somewhere else to stay. God's Love International opened its doors this August to homeless men, women, and families.
And this place has been helping us get really stable and get into a routine.
Today, the shelter received a letter from code enforcement ordering them to shut down. The city says Pastor Ronald Nelson failed to correct several code and safety violations.
We have done everything that we can possibly do to meet what they have told me to do, and they keep saying that we haven't.
Among the violations listed, serving food without the approval from the Spokane Regional Health District.
Sinks.
The building was previously used as an office, and the building is not up to code for residential or shelter use.
I don't know where we're going to go right now.
Dozens of people packed up and left tonight. 8 made it into the Trent shelter. Tonight, it's no longer accepting walk-ins because 4 people tested positive for COVID. The city says they're being isolated for now, and depending on what health officials say, the Trent shelter may accept walk-ins again tomorrow. But for this mom and daughter, that won't help much since minors aren't allowed in.
That leaves us with no other options. The other shelters, I can't go with a child, most of them. There might be one where we have to split up and she could go.
Nelson is also wondering where he'll go. He sold his house in Deer Park to open the shelter.
I put $103,000 down on it, and then I put $30,000 into getting all the stuff and renovate.
He's sleeping here too.
When tomorrow comes, I'm going to be as homeless as the rest of these guys are.
Now, the city says Nelson would be able to reopen the shelter, but only after he fixes all the violations and inspectors give him the green light. In the newsroom, Kyle Simchuk, KREM 2 News.
Thank you very much. And just this morning, crews used heavy equipment to clear the perimeter of that homeless camp near I-90 in Freya. It's all in an effort to make room for new fencing. And coming up in about 10 minutes, KREM 2's Janelle Finch is bringing us more on the new development and how officials hope it will increase security in the East Central neighborhood. Well, the people of Florida saw little relief with Hurricane Ian once again regaining its hurricane status just hours after it was reduced to a tropical storm. Right now, more than 2.6 million people in Florida have lost power as intense winds and severe flooding are tearing the state apart. President Biden is warning this could be the deadliest hurricane in Florida's history. Exact numbers are difficult to confirm at this point, but we do know at least 4 people have died so far. Now, as Hurricane Ian is forecasted to make landfall in South Carolina, tomorrow Floridians are left to deal with just that unimaginable destruction. And while the recommendation for most of us is to evacuate the area, some are flying straight into the storm. Check it out. This video was taken roughly 24 hours ago on one of their flights. Scientists from the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration are equipped with special planes and equipment that allow them to deliver crucial data about the storm. These hunters have been hunting hurricanes for decades now, but they say Hurricane Ian is unlike anything they've seen before. All right, switching gears to weather locally, it's finally starting to look and feel like fall with cooler temperatures and a whole lot of rain today. Let's get right over to meteorologist Michelle Boss. And Michelle, what can we expect as we head into tomorrow morning?
Yes, so we get the fall-like weather today, but we are going right back to summer weather for the weekend. Let's jump ahead to Saturday and Sunday because check it out. Sunshine, and look where temperatures are headed back into the upper 70s. No record-breaking temperatures, but certainly well above average for this time of year. If you're thinking about plans for the weekend, just know the weather is going to be fabulous. But when is the rain going to end that we're seeing right now? We're still seeing that rain rotating around the inland northwest. We will probably still be dealing with some shower activity in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area overnight, but that rain will shift to the south. So folks like Lewiston, Pullman, Central, and Southern Idaho Panhandle will likely still see some showers tomorrow morning, but the rest of us will start to see things drying out. Temperatures in the lower 50s right now. We will be holding pretty steady in the temperature department into the upper 40s and lower 50s overnight, but temperatures tonight down to around 49 with a few lingering showers, and then tomorrow we should be seeing the sun by afternoon with a high in the upper 60s.
Thank you you very much. We'll check back in with you later in the broadcast. And now to our night beat with a quick look at the day's top stories. Multicare is looking for older adult volunteers for a vaccine trial that increases the body's immune response to RSV. RSV is a common respiratory virus that causes mild to cold-like symptoms. Most people recover in a week or two, but it can be serious, especially for infants or older adults. So between now and October 17th, Multicare hopes to enroll 250 participants in the Inland Northwest. If you're interested in participating in this study, you can text RSV to 509-448-2000 and we'll send information directly to your phone. Spokane County Commissioner Mary Cooney gave a State of the County address for the first time since 2019 today. The theme of this year's address, Together Forward. She touched on the county's expanding government from 3 commissioner districts to 5, as well as the county's focus on behavioral health. Spokane County Sheriff Ozzie Knezevich also spoke about the state of the county's law enforcement, including what he described as his regret about the county not being able to open a new jail. Commissioner Cooney says the county is in preliminary discussions about a new facility. Well, a search warrant was executed today at the Spokane Hells Angels Clubhouse on East Sprague. According to SPD, that warrant was a joint investigation between SPD and federal investigators. The warrant is currently sealed and more information is expected to come in the following days. Sprague Avenue was closed earlier today, but there was minimal impact to drivers in that area. Well, just some devastating news out of Pullman tonight. Washington State University basketball player Miles Rice has been diagnosed with Hodgkin's lymphoma, a rare form of cancer that'll take the 19-year-old out of the upcoming season. Earlier today, Rice released a statement outlining the situation and saying, quote, "I will beat this heinous disease." Now his family has started a GoFundMe to help cover his treatment. You can find that link on our website. Just head to KREM.com. And that was your Night Beat. To learn more about any of these stories, just text us the word night to 509-448-2000 and we'll send them directly to your phone. Well, $228 million. That's how much Seattle Public Schools says their new contract with educators will cost. The school board approved the new contract last night. The 3-year agreement provides a pay raise of 7% in the first year, among other things. But now they are facing a nearly $190 million budget shortfall. The school board says it'll take a more thorough look at the district's budget at its next meeting coming up on October 12th. And in other news this evening, the bodies of some of the victims of the float plane crash earlier this month near Whidbey Island have now been recovered. 10 people were killed in that plane crash after it took a nosedive in the water in the Puget Sound. Among those killed was Sandy Williams of Spokane and her partner Patricia Hicks. The Island County Coroner's Office says they are on a barge right now and they have taken DNA samples from the families of the victims. They are trying to identify the bodies they have found. Well, a new federal pilot program will pay for $2 million worth of diapers for families in Washington and on tribal lands. One organization near Seattle called Westside Baby helps families with about 50 diapers each month for around 30,000 kids per year. They say that that's only a fraction of what they need, though. The new pilot program will distribute money to community coalitions connected with nonprofits like Westside Baby. Well, coming up on October 1st, you'll have to pay a little bit more for a Washington State driver's license. It'll now cost you $3 more per year for an enhanced driver's license or ID. And that means a 6-year ID will set you back $42 and an 8-year ID will now cost you $56. The additional fees will be used to help fund the state's $17 billion transportation package. Well, a warning for Spokane drivers. Spokane Falls Boulevard between Wall and Monroe Street is closing tomorrow morning at 5 o'clock and won't reopen until tomorrow evening at 7. The closure is so Avista Utilities can disassemble a crane that's been dredging the Spokane River. So one lane will be available to access River Park Square and the Central Library parking garages. Those needing access to City Hall will be let through by flaggers, they say. And that was your KREM 2 News 10 at 10, where you get more news in less time. But don't go to bed just yet. As some city officials try to clear it out, others are getting ready to put up a fence around it. We are bringing you the latest on that growing homeless camp near I-90 in Freya. And if you haven't done so already, you can download our new KREM 2 Plus app to catch what we are streaming 24/7. We have everything from the day's news to specials, giving you an in-depth look at the region's top stories. All you have to do is download the app, and we'll show you exactly how to do so on KREM.com. So head online and check us out.